Kende, your girl. Yes, we are back again. Welcome to another beautiful episode of Smart Heals. Smart Heals is a program where we showcase female professionals who are doing excellently well in their careers with a view to enabling girlfriends out there to learn from their experiences. And like I normally say, there's nothing as good as sharing your own experience through your own personal lens. So I'll leave it to Benny to introduce our special guest on the show today. Benny, over to you.
Thank you, Kenny. Hi, girlfriends. Thank you once again for joining us. Today we have a very special guest. Her name is Uzoma Ben-Ude. I'm sure you must have been hearing her name.
I have.
So Uzoma is a senior HR professional with vast experience in the FMCG industry. She's currently the HR director of Perfective and Meal, a globally recognized company with presence in over 150 countries. You're welcome, Uzoma.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on the program today. We appreciate that. We really
Thank you. Hi, girlfriends. Hope you're all good.
Thank you. Girlfriends, just sit back and enjoy our chats with Uzoma today, because I have come loaded with different questions for her for this afternoon. So Uzoma, how's your journey within the HR space been so far?
Wow. Okay. It's always good to talk about, but I like to start by saying that I actually went into HR unplanned. So if you look at my background, studied computer science, started working as a software development engineer, programmer, and from there I ventured into IT training. And then that's how I started to work for Guinness Nigeria, part of the Diageo business. And it was while I was there in the IT department, that we started working a lot more together with the HR team. So when it comes to trainings, we would everyone who is handling training, be you from HR, we kind of came together to go through the training needs analysis, what needs to be done, etc. And that was how my introduction into HR started to happen, And gradually, when a role came out in HR, there were actually several people coming up to me and saying, Zoma, I think you can do that role. You know what? I know you're in IT, but you're actually a people person, And I was like, okay, really? In fact, it was a lot of, actually had that a lot happening, and someone was like, you're someone that people always wanted to talk to, want to share their challenges with, wanted to, just talk to. They think you should be doing something more with that, So it's almost like, a gift, transformed into a profession. So that's how I got into the HR profession, really, and from there, I've had the opportunity to do several roles in HR, and I've grown to become a senior HR leader, and I just look back and it's like, wow, it was for me quite a transformation, an unplanned one, that actually became a successful career, and so I talk to people now and I say, you know what, just look inside you. The actual thing that you can do that can bring out so much energy and passion from you might just be still there, lurking behind what you're doing.
Wow.
Thank you so much for that. What a journey. What a journey.
Incidentally, a lot of our guests have said they got into HR by accident.
Okay.
Yes, incidentally. So,
Yeah.
Johnny, can you tell us about your highs and your lows? Because I'm sure you must have experienced some good parts and some bad parts.
Yes. Okay. So let's start with the lows, yeah? First of all, it'd be good to say, making that transition, I was lucky to have, an organization that will support you through that level of transition, because that coming from IT, where everything is about systems, processes, how analytics, blah, 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 into HR, you would come with certain strengths, definitely. So now when you talk about HR systems, HR analytics, you probably have an edge, and more advantage. But then you would need to go through the journey of understanding, people processes. And the fact that with people is not a yes or no, it's not a science with people. you know. So sometimes with managing relationships, which is very key for a HR person, your stakeholder management, some of the tiny little things that you would not have bothered a lot with as an IT person. So I noticed that as I moved roles, somewhere in that transition, I actually had a low period when I was asking myself, was this the right thing to have done? Am I sure I'm coping? I seem to be getting a lot of feedbacks that I wasn't very happy and comfortable with, and that managing that period, was really tough for me. Another low I would like to talk about too, but for me, it's a low that helps me grow. One of the things we do in HR, you're doing a lot of change management, org restructuring, effectiveness, different things like that. So you go through periods where at the end you're letting people go. It's for the good of the business,
Yes.
But as a person, sometimes it leaves you really hurt, and it's something that you need to grow up to be able to manage as a HR person. In fact, it's something that has come to stay for you in the profession. You would have those periods when you're making those tough calls, sometimes very sensitive, sometimes with senior business leaders, but you just have to make those calls. And sometimes it actually hits you back and it's almost like a low period for you. But so that's for the low. For the high periods, I think it's been a very rewarding move, for me. Seeing that I was able to break through that plateau, and then start to grow, start to gain credibility, start to gain really good experience, and now I mentor other young and upcoming HR professionals and generally, young professionals, and you help them see that, look, this is a journey that you can go through and really be successful. So for me, it's gone that way. Sometimes when I talk to people, they really can't relate to the fact that, you haven't done HR all your life, and today being the HR director of a big multinational company for me is also, it shows as an accomplishment of all that has happened within. So for me, it's been a very interesting, richly experience that I've been through in HR.
That's a mix. That's a very good mix. And when you talked about change management, this period, a lot of change management has happened in different organizations. So this period has really been a tough one for HR professionals. I've had personal experiences, and so Kenny has also had. She has her own experiences as well. So, but at the end of the day, what do? We have to rise above.
That's the life.
Meeting head on is a challenge, so we have to rise to the situation and meet the challenge head on. I don't bury my head in the sand. I tell people I'm a very, very realistic HR person. I'm in tune with what is happening in my environment, both internal and external. Because as HR, we can get so cocooned in our day-to-day HR things that we lose focus of how those external and internal happenings affect our businesses. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Uzoma. My next question will be, as a professional woman at the top, yes, how do you integrate your work and your life?
Okay, excellent. Okay, there's something I learned in the course of my career. I actually had a senior colleague who shared that with me at some point in my career. And she said there's something that she has learned to do. She has learned to put her life in compartments. She said, because if you don't do it, one part has a tendency to rub off on the other. In several ways, you can be experiencing a low in a particular area at a particular time. And she says, what, don't let it rub off the successes you're experiencing in other parts of your life. So what she has learned, so she took me through that journey, and it was something that I embraced, and I could really see it work for me. So there's work, there's family, there's your social life, there's church if you're involved in that, all the several things you do. And for each one, you've got objectives to achieve, you've got things to focus on to get done, and you've got, the moments of asking yourself, how am I doing in this area, So once you're able to do that, what, it really, really helps you. You can separate, these are my family goals at this time, that need to be achieved. So I need to create time for them as much as I do for work. So sometimes it might seem very simple. Yes, not as simple because you still have your 24 hours,
True.
and sometimes it can be challenging to juggle everything within 24 hours. But prioritization is one thing that helps you every time. If you say, what are my priorities at every time in each of these areas? There could be 2 or 3. You don't have to carry less is more. But once you can identify these priorities, you will see that once you achieve them, you actually feel that success that you have achieved and the fact that you have, made significant progress, and it helps you to just carry on, and you find out that you can juggle all the areas. Sometimes it's demanding. I mean, just to talk about this work-life balance, okay, working from home that we are talking about, oh, that's the new normal, that's new normal. It comes with its own challenges.
Yes.
I share with people, I said, the kids are not going to school. So it's a different thing from, when everything was working and you just have a day you want to work from home. They've gone off to school, you are fine, you can concentrate for some hours and get your work done before they start to come. But now they are with you at home, probably the husband is with you at home, so there's this in their mental presence, you are there. So the fact that, oh, I'm working, oh, I'm in a meeting, oh, I'm this, you have people barging in and saying, look, you know what? we want food in the middle of the call. And I'm like, wait. Like, no, we want food, So,
examples on CNN. Hilarious examples.
That's the new normal.
That's the new normal, so it's the new normal, but those are challenges you have to deal with, and sometimes you find out that you have forgotten to even mute your phone, mute your phone, and then you're shouting at someone. Like that's our new normal, and you have to learn to manage it, because at the end, you need to perform at work, and you need to be focused and make sure nothing affects your performance, because performance is your ticket to success, is your ticket to that credibility. As a HR person, as a woman, you need to make a success of your career, so you need to be focused to do that, but at the same time, you also have those other areas that you need to sort out.
True. That's a very good advice. You heard that, girlfriends. Find a way to prioritize. Determine what is important to you per time, so that you don't get yourself overwhelmed trying to integrate work and life. Thank you for that advice, Uzoma. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So I want to ask you a very different question.
Okay.
You're not a HR professional. I know you said you didn't start off as HR. But if not any of these things, what would you have loved to do? And when I ask this, I mean in a social context, what would you have loved to be?
Okay.
This is my favorite part of the interview.
I think I found out one thing about myself is I like service generally, as in being able to serve. So I find out that I'm actually very happy organizing parties. I mean, I'm sure that I've asked a few people even recently, said, who is getting married? There is nobody getting married. We need to organize wedding now. We need to do things, And when it comes to that area, I'm very comfortable in that space, and I can stretch behind anything. I can get to doing a lot of things by myself. I've been through learning how to do decoration, so I can actually do it myself, and I can supervise. With cooking, I'm comfortable in that space, whether I'm managing the people that are doing the cooking, or sometimes I need to get involved in cooking myself. I'm very comfortable in that space, So I think if you leave me, that's one area that I think.
That's good. That's event planning, catering, anything that has to do with birthdays, weddings.
It has to do with events, yes.
Would have been the go-to person for that.
I'm moving my elements, and I'm not sure. I think I don't get tired.
Yeah. That's good.
I'm glad to know that about you. I mean, that's the part of you that, don't worry, we'll talk about after this conversation.
Okay.
How does Uzoma unwind? How do you unwind? How do you relax after a hectic day at work, after a hectic week? How do you, get it all off?
Oh, okay. I think for me, first, I'm a bit introverted at the end of it all there. I'm not the, the life of the party from the external. I can be behind making sure the party happens, but I'm not that face of the party, I'm not a very external person. So I think I also see that even in my unwinding, I generally like to, relax, take some time off to declutter my brain, search for new information. I'm someone that can be on the internet for a very long time. I can actually find it refreshing. I play music a lot, so I can just relax in the weekend, evening, or I'm playing music. I'm on the net checking one or two things, reading up one or two things, and I generally just, take myself off all the challenges, off work, off all the stress, and it's just about me, and about getting myself refreshed and focus back on myself.
So if I get you correctly, you like listening to music when you're working. What else did you get out of that?
She likes surfing the internet.
Yes, definitely.
And incidentally, those are two of my favorite pastimes.
Really?
Sourcing the internet for new information. I always try to challenge myself to learn something new. So once I see something I don't understand, I'm going straight to Google.
Oh yes, that's it. And I can stay on it because from one thing I then learn another thing, and do something else and do something else. And
that's great. That's great. You are not like us dancers. Me, I can dance my whole day away.
In fact, that's the point because someone says, "Oh, okay, I like listening to music. I don't like dancing."
All right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that part of you with us. We appreciate that.
So finally, Uzoma, what advice would you give to budding and aspiring HR professionals out there?
Okay. I think for me is so generally to all young and upcoming professionals is to give yourself to learning, give yourself to learning, define success for yourself, never really always walk in people's shadows. Define success for yourself. For me, it's a very significant thing that only gives you satisfaction. Because once you walk in another person's shoes, you would never really be satisfied because you don't know what is driving that person. So always define success for yourself and by your own standards. And then in HR is such a wide and impactful profession that we have. That if we really, give ourselves into doing it and doing it well, we add real values to our organizations, And I would always say HR is not for the heck of it. It's not about saying, oh, I've got the most flamboyant recognition program. Oh, we've got this, one or two terms that makes us feel good. But it's about what value am I creating for my organization? That is what will make the company not want to lose you. That is what will make you have. So in these days when we talk about HR business partnering, HR having a seat at the table, what gives you some of those credibility is the fact that you have your data, you have your facts, you're able to manage your stakeholders, and you deliver real value for your business. So when they are talking about it, there's almost no meeting. There are other ones that are saying, why is this person not in this meeting? Where is my HR manager? Oh, why is this person not in this meeting? Because they know that for every conversation that you get into, there's some value that they get out of it, and you make yourself significant, you make yourself someone they don't want to do without, and in that way, you can actually expand your influence and your role as a HR person, and that enables you to grow, And for HR, we've just started, in Nigeria, we've just started.
We just started, seriously.
We just started. We'll come to, we can move to a point where they're looking for people to lead businesses and they're looking for HR people.
Yes.
Because they know that they've got some quality, they've got some things to offer, that makes them one of the go-to people that you want to work with.
Exactly. Thank you for that advice.
Yes. You said something very, very significant there. That when they are looking for people to take up leadership positions, they are looking for HR people. Because you don't just know about the people side, you also know about the business side.
Business, yes.
So it's all encompassing, because at the end of the day, how are you building your organization's brand? Through your people.
That's it. Everything you want to achieve for the organization, be it business of selling, whatever it is, manufacturing, services you're rendering, it is through people.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes. And
So,
if you don't get that part of the business right, of course, it's going to affect a lot of things.
yes.
I quite understand that. You heard that, young HR professionals, make yourself valuable. Bring some value to the table. You are not a tissue lady. Yes, don't be a tissue HR. You are not a tissue lady. Groom yourself, develop yourself, make yourself valuable, understand your business, understand the profession, so that when there is a need to make critical business decision, your voice will count at the table. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Uzoma.
So much.
So, girlfriends, you come to the end of today's show. And me, I don't know about you. Me, Kende, I have learned a lot from chatting with Uzoma this afternoon. And I hope you've been able to take one or two learnings from what she has shared with us so far. Tuesday is another date with us. In case you want to advertise, you want to make any inquiries, sponsorship, just send us a mail on hrgirlfriends@gmail.com. And until we come your way again, we remain your HR girlfriends. What do we do, Belly?
We learn.
We leisure.